Southern Caregiver Resource Center. We're going to be talking about caregiving through the holidays. Can you see it okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to click it here with my hand. And some of the things that we are going to talk about today are some of our objectives. Is identifying some of the new changes that we might see with the people that we are caring for, learning how to adapt to those changes, find other ways to get assistance from others, as well as some strategies to help everyone have a good time during the holidays. Sound good? Good, good. So what's coming up? Which holiday is coming up? Thanksgiving. So what are some of the things that you're doing for Thanksgiving? What are some of your plans?
Cook a turkey.
Cook a turkey. Are you cooking it?
No.
Who's cooking a turkey? Some people? Okay, that's buying a turkey. That's smart. That's smart. So let me ask you, when you cook a turkey, does it take like, I don't know, 5 minutes, an hour? Not a cook, so if you want to eat it, it takes so obviously it takes a long time to make Thanksgiving meals, right? And you have all the sides and all the prepping, and then on top of that we have what? Who are you eating by yourselves? Family, friends, and everything that comes. You have to clean the house, right? You have to get everything ready. So there is a lot of preparation that happens when we have Thanksgiving. So how many of you are caregivers? So on top of all the things that you have to do for Thanksgiving, you still have to worry about the person that you are caring for. And where do we fall into this whole equation?
No time.
No time for yourself, right? Okay. So obviously that's not something that we want you to do. We don't want you to forget about caring for yourself. And we're going to really think about how we can do that as we prepare for the holidays that are coming up. Okay. So what are some of our expectations as we are prepping for Thanksgiving? What makes it a successful Thanksgiving meal? Planning. What else? How do you know it's successful? Just feel free to shout it out.
When everyone enjoys it.
When everyone enjoys it, tells you how good the turkey was. Okay. What other expectations do we have for Thanksgiving, since we're on the topic? How about that everything's what? Everything is falling into place, right? Everything starts with a P. Perfect. Right? The meal has been cooked. The house is perfectly clean. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Are those some of the expectations that we have for Thanksgiving? Yeah. We probably don't expect to be painting the house on Thanksgiving, right? Or working on the car, right? Some people expect to watch the game, right? It might not be your expectation, but it's some people's expectations, right? So we have a certain set of expectations for Thanksgiving. Now, what do you think? And here's a great picture that I found of just a happy family coming together, all generations, you know, people enjoying Thanksgiving. Is that something that kind of looks familiar? No, does it look familiar for you? Mm-hmm. Or is it a little bit more chaotic?
More chaotic.
More chaotic? Right? I mean, that little girl's so well behaved, right? Just sitting there. So I just was having some fun with this because it's not always this peaceful. And you said chaotic, right? Do we feel some of that stress during Thanksgiving?
Yes.
What is it that's causing some of that stress?
Because you have extra work coming in on top of what you have to do, and you gotta be super mom.
Super mom, I like that. So you're super mom. Right. You are the super caregiver, right? Everything has to be perfect, and you're the one that's going to be responsible for that. Right. So that causes stress?
Yes.
How do you feel when it causes stress? What are some of the causes that are making you so stressful?
Because there's so much to do by yourself.
By yourself?
The only way it gets done is by you doing it
Uh-huh.
yourself.
Hence the super mom term, right? Do you have a cape and everything that you kind of just fly in and
I wish that was it.
maybe some roller skates as you fly down the grocery aisles to picking up the food. So, do you think it's self-imposed, a lot of the stress?
Mm-hmm.
That we create the stress because we want everything to be perfect? I mean, we talked about it earlier, right? Yes.
We're trying to cram it all in one day.
I mean, Thanksgiving should probably be like 5 days, right? Building up. Today we're going to have the sides. Tomorrow we're going to have the main course, right? Right. So it's all crammed in to this one day. And there's so many steps that are involved. So we talked about cooking. We talked about cleaning as some of the stressors, right? Is this a stress? Do we even think about finding time?
It's stressful.
It's stressful because
you only have so many hours in a day.
there is no time, right?
But
Do the guests add some stress?
yes,
Why?
because you always worry what they're gonna think, and you make sure the cleaning, the food is good.
What are their expectations, right? Their expectations.
Yeah.
What are they thinking? Yes.
And then some of us have the expectation with our worship family, and there's always room for one more.
Uh-huh. Really? One more? But I have 50 people coming, right? One more? Okay. Exactly. So we all agree that all of this can cause stress, right? What are some ways that we can reduce the stress? Can you think of any?
Ask for help.
Asking for help. How often do we do that?
Not often.
Not often. Okay, at least you recognized it. But asking for help is good one. It is a good one. How about simplifying it? What are your numbers of people that are coming to your house? Is it 50?
Oh, I wish. Now when you have a big family, they're alone,
There are a
like
lot.
100.
Like 100. Wow. That's a big
Yeah.
get together. So they can be really big. So maybe we consider, since you're caregivers, maybe we consider simplifying the holidays. I know it's easier said than done because people have expectations and we have those expectations, right? So maybe what we need to do is we need to adjust those expectations, right? Is it the end of the world if we don't cook the bean casserole or whatever casserole you have from scratch, but maybe you cheat and you buy a can and you kind of help the process, right? So adjusting those expectations, looking at what you often do for Thanksgiving, how can you adjust?
Well, I have a good tip,
Okay.
and if I'm having it at my house, I only do the paper product, and then I organize it that everybody brings a dish.
Nice.
And then what I found out is like when I organize it, you don't tell one person, bring the turkey and bring a veggie. You tell one person to bring the veggie to feed 50 people. So they only focus on one thing.
Okay.
Because I remember going for Thanksgiving and they asked me to bring drinks and they asked me to bring a main dish and a veggie. Wait a minute, I only need the mashed potato and I can stay home. So
Yeah.
I changed the whole thing
Okay.
with the family. And so if I have it at my person who's having it at their house now, just do the paper products.
Paper products. I like
And get the
that.
house
I
ready.
like that.
And get the house ready and everybody else bring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So that's a good tip. Everybody taking notes on the tips? Okay. Taking a time out. It's not just for kids. Sometimes as adults, we need a time out. And we need, if we're getting overwhelmed, if there are too many things that are starting to just kind of boil up because I have to get the house clean, I have to go grocery shopping, and I have to cook, and I have to clean, and I have to create, maybe you can just say, okay, whew, I need a break. I need to take a walk around the block, Maybe put somebody in charge while I decompress and then come back to the situation with a clearer head. Okay, so taking the time out should be part of what we do for Thanksgiving, especially because it's so chaotic, right? Making a to-do list. Who likes to-do lists? I like them. I like to check them off. So making a to-do list, right? Maybe there are things that you can do in the morning, you can do in the evening, or even as a way of guiding your day. So if I need to go to 3 different grocery stores, maybe I plan it where I start in one and then I just make my way towards the other one. So I'm not doing this all over and, oh, no, I forgot this. But if I have a list, then I probably won't forget. Probably. And then asking for help, what you were saying earlier. Asking for help is very important, but we don't do it. Why?
Well, my experience is that I don't mind asking for help, but when you ask and you get a no, and you ask and get a no, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm not gonna ask the third person because I don't need another no.
Okay.
Then you just do it yourself.
Ah.
Maybe that third person might be the lucky one, but you feel like.
So that I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I think a lot of times caregivers are very hesitant to ask for help because somebody's going to tell them no. And if they tell them no, like you said, just words right out of my mouth, then I'm not going to ask anymore. I'm just going to do it myself because I don't want to get a no. So then maybe what we need to do is figure out what is it that we really need help with, and really taper it, or maybe partition it, so that it's not this big thing that you're asking somebody to do, but maybe you break it down. So instead of saying, hey, so-and-so, can you cook the turkey? And they're going to be like, I don't want to cook the turkey. But maybe that person is in charge of going to buy the turkey, or defrosting the turkey, or putting everything together, and then you cook it. So prepping it. They can be your sous chef so that you can cook it. So that person doesn't feel so overwhelmed by this one thing that you're asking, but maybe piecing it out. Okay. So does that make sense? Some of the
idea better.
Or cooking it, or buying it. Yes, exactly. And there's so many options now, right? There's so many grocery stores that everything's already prepared. And yes, we might feel like, but that's not the traditional turkey, and that's but it exactly, you don't. You put a nice dish.
You go to Ross and get a turkey dish.
Look what I made, right? That's where adjusting our expectations come into play, right? You're still going to have turkey. It's still going to be a nice meal, but it's going to save you some time and some headaches and some sense of feeling stressed. Okay, so now let's get into the actual caregiving role, right? There is this new normal that we are dealing with the person that we are caring, right? Maybe back in the day, that person used to be very involved in the preparations and the cooking and in the festivities, and now they really have no idea what's going on because they have dementia, let's say. And if that's the case, then you are living in this different reality, right? It's not the same anymore. And now you have to somehow adjust to this person not helping you, or now needing additional assistance where you have to remove yourself from what it is that you're doing to tend to them. So that's the new normal, which can also cause some stress, right? If the person in the middle of your prepping asks for, I don't know, to go to the restroom, and now you have to stop what you're doing to take that person, that can add some stress because you're running out of time. People are coming. So with this new normal, some of the changes, and it's important to recognize, if you were are you the full-time caregivers?
Yes.
Okay, full-time, 24/7. Okay, so it's really easy for us to notice these changes maybe on a regular basis, right? But now we have people that are coming from out of town. Maybe people that haven't seen, family that haven't seen the person that you're caring for. And to them, it's like, whoa, those are major changes. I hadn't even recognized, I can't even recognize mom the way she is acting. And you're like, yeah, that's the way she is all the time. So that can also add some stress, because the person might not understand that there are some subtle changes, or there are some changes overall that are happening. So especially when a person has dementia, like we said, there might be some early stages where the subtle changes are more evident than to middle to late stages. Maybe, and what I mean is that maybe it's easier for the person to eat certain things if they are more like, not necessarily hard, but maybe you make them into, mashing them up into soup or something. And then people that are there might be, why are you just giving her a leg of, the turkey leg? Why are you cutting it up so little? And that's because you know that the person's having a difficulty eating and swallowing. So so those are some of the new normal changes that we might be seeing. And that's where it's important to involve others, right? Caregiving shouldn't just be you. It should also involve others. And I say should, but it's not always the case. But it will be helpful if you're having people come to your house to have others understand what's happening, the new normal, and how to help you, right? Do you have family from out of town that's coming?
You probably want to leave my subject without.
I don't want to approach the person.
I don't know if you want to hear a bit of it. That's when I talk about you're afraid to ask. You ask one. Big family. She's got 11 siblings.
Wow.
And I reach out to the one sibling that she raised her kids. And didn't even help me with my kid.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one who's caring for her now. Nobody wants to care for her. They won't even take her for a few hours at their house.
Wow.
And her sister that she cared and raised her kid. And my mom raised her mom. And I used to help her take care of her mom. And nobody did. And now everybody's having a life, going on vacation. No, they literally told me no.
Wow.
After asking the second sister. They literally tell me, no, I'm on my own.
So that's difficult.
Let her kids take care of it. And I said, well, her sons won't help me. I'm all alone.
Well, we don't want you to feel that way. So before you leave, we want to make sure that you take notes and that we can talk about how we can help you. And I'll go into it a little bit later.
Well, that's true. I know I'm not alone because of you guys.
That's right. That's right.
Because of you guys, I'm not.
You're not alone.
Guys, I don't know what I would have done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Rebecca.
Good. So it's good to have others understand what you're going through. Because as, we talked about the super caregivers, sometimes people say, oh, no, you're doing so well. Look at you. You look great. You must not have any challenges. And, if they really care to know how you're doing, then maybe that's an opportunity to say, I'm really stressed. I really could use your help with this, this, and this. And just lay it out.
Yeah.
So helping others understand is very important. And we can do that by setting up a meeting to discuss some of the changes or some of the challenges that you're feeling. So obvious signs versus not so obvious signs. Maybe to somebody, if they're oblivious to that, those signs are oblivious to them, but to you, they're big. Letting them do it ahead of time. So if you have family coming home for the holidays, and so that they're not surprised by mom not remembering people's names and it's the whole family, then maybe giving them a heads up beforehand. Okay, so then that really goes to my computer being frozen. There we go. So adjusting expectations. We need to be honest about our limitations. What we can do, what we cannot do, right? We already talked about a simple thing like turkey. This year, not going to cook it. Sorry, everybody, we will have turkey. I'm just not going to spend 8 hours in the kitchen. Be realistic, right? If now you're caring for mom or grandma or whoever it is, then that's going to take some time. So that's less time that you're going to have prepping. Allow others to contribute. It doesn't necessarily have to be family. We have this idea that only the family is what's expected to help you, but you could probably ask your neighbor. You could ask your colleagues. You can ask other friends. I know, Pam, you were talking about your church group. They could step in, and you could ask them for help. Hey, since you're going to go to the grocery store and buy things for your family, do you mind picking up this, and this? I'll give you the money. And then that way it saves you a trip to the grocery store since you're having to take care of mom. So allowing others to contribute. Change it to a lunch instead of a brunch, right? I mean, instead of dinner. And I say that because sometimes the elderly care receivers, people that we're caring for, who might have a difficult time maybe waiting up so late, it's okay to change it, especially if it's at your house, right? Have them eat earlier, and then they can either go home or you go for round 2 later, right? And it's okay, the person had dinner, they can go take a nap, and you can still continue with the festivities. And then seeking assistance. And so you saying that we are here for you, that's one way to seek assistance, because we are here for you to help you. Yeah. Okay, so how do we involve the care receiver? And that's interesting, right? I mean, you're kind of looking back because it's like, I hadn't even thought about that. Have you thought about that? No. So the care receiver, the person that we're caring for, is also part of the family. Just because they have dementia or they're not as able to do the things that they used to do doesn't mean that they're not part of it. Maybe you sing some traditional songs in the meantime, right? And kind of change the mood and make it more lively. You look through photo albums. These are good activities that other people can do as they're arriving to your home while you are still maybe prepping. Or you can ask somebody, hey, can you come in a couple of hours early and do this while I'm still getting stuff ready? Those are fun activities that people can do. Maybe you offer the care receiver some simple tasks. Hey, do you mind setting the table for me? I could really use your help. You can do it. You can do it, no problem. But they could also do it. And they can feel like they're a part of it. Maybe you ask them to assist, and I say assist in quotes because obviously you're not going to have somebody cook a turkey and lift a 20-pound bird, but maybe you ask them to help you with the green beans and just kind of take the little ends off, and then you're going to wash them and cook them, but they can help you with that part. Wrapping gifts, setting the table, etc. And then because it's a special occasion, it's really difficult to stick to the normal routine. And that's why if the person is used to going to sleep at 6, I don't know, then having the dinner at 6 might cost you more challenges. So that's why I suggested maybe changing it to earlier. So what else is coming up?
Christmas.
Yeah, so there are a lot of holidays that are coming up after Thanksgiving, right? And it seems like the end of the year just kind of quickly ends. So there are a lot of different traditions. There are a lot of different events, a lot of different parties, a lot of different get-togethers. And you might also be invited to some of these, not necessarily you taking the care receiver with you. Maybe you don't want to take the care receiver with you. So then what is that you do there? Do you choose to stay because you have to take care of the person that you're caring for, or do you choose to go, but then what happens to that person, right? So these are things that you have to think about after Thanksgiving. It's easy if you're having the get-together maybe in your house because it's their space too and they're used to it, but if there's a change in scenery, then that might pose a little bit more of a challenge. So I'm going to focus right now on gift giving because I know that sometimes as super caregivers, we forget about our needs and we really say, don't worry about me. I don't need anything. Or maybe the opposite, right? I need a trip to Hawaii. So that's what I want everybody to give me, right? So it just depends. But in terms of gift giving, for the person that's the care receiver, and especially, and I just mentioned dementia, but it doesn't have to be dementia, but for a person in this case with dementia, gifts that are safe and useful are probably best. You're not going to give them a set of knives. Even if they say, oh, these are really neat, I would love to have a set. What are they going to use them for? They're a little dangerous, right? You might like a set of knives. That's different. So then maybe giving them so that they feel involved, obviously, some of these options. What else am I missing? What else could you add to this list?
Bathroom,
That would be nice.
shampoo,
Oh,
cleansing
slippers,
Yeah.
nice warm slippers, smelly lotions. Those are nice.
Yeah.
And the person would enjoy it. The person will really use them perhaps because they're useful items. And then to have them open it up and unwrap the gift is probably just as fun to watch. For the caregiver, it's really difficult sometimes for us to say, this is what I want, right? Because it sounds like we're being selfish, or it's not about me, it's about the care receiver. But knowing the person, and this message is more for others, right? Knowing you is important. Because if you don't like a certain scent, for example, then why am I going to give you that scent in a lotion? You're not going to like it. So it would be very special for me to figure out what it is that you really like and for me to give it to you and be happy about that and make you feel appreciated. And feeling appreciated is really important. We just don't go around saying, I need you to appreciate me. But who doesn't like to be appreciated? Raise your hand if you do not like to be appreciated right now. Right? We all like to be appreciated. And so maybe if you want to have people help you, say, how about you help me with some of these? Having them be aware that you could really use the gift of cleaning, of a break, of transportation, of allowing you to go to the salon to get your hair done, or to go to the movies, so a gift certificate. When was the last time you went to the movies? Right? What's that?
I don't know how to sit that long.
But it would be nice, right? If there's a movie that's coming out that you really want to see, then maybe you say, hey, how about you give me a movie pass? And so those are things that as we are working with caregivers, as we are helping our friends, that it would be nice, but also for you to verbalize that I could really use a break. I really want to watch this movie. I'm putting it out there. Right? The gift of being appreciated. You can't put a dollar amount on it, but it's really valuable for caregivers, especially to take a break. These are your holidays too. It's not just for everybody else, even though it feels like that, right? You're cooking for everybody else. Everybody's eating the food that you are cooking or partaking in the holidays, but this is about you too. So how do we enjoy it? Now, in celebrating together, we also have a lot of caregivers that think, well, Dad is in a facility, so I don't need to worry about that because he's already been taken care of. I'm not the caregiver anymore. But there's also, you are still involved. You are still maybe making the payments, visiting, taking items, clothes. So you're still the caregiver. And if the person's in a facility, maybe participating in some of the facility planned activities, because they do that. They do a lot of activities, especially during the holidays. So participating in that. Bringing a favorite dish to share with others. This is Dad's favorite lasagna dish. And cooking it for everybody to enjoy. Inviting others to join in your festivities. Maybe you do something special around this time that you always used to do, like singing songs. And so now you can invite others to join in that. And I have here singing, sharing of poems, playing music, etc. Okay. Now I know that during the holidays, especially for caregivers who may have been taking care of someone that just recently passed away, the holidays might trigger a lot of grief, a lot of loneliness, sadness, despair. And so what we suggest is, instead of kind of focusing on the negative, that maybe there is a way that the person who is either far away or deceased can have some sort of a special spot in the celebrations. So how do we do that? Well, we start by identifying the emotions, right? Maybe you can't travel this holiday season and Mom is in Florida. And so you're feeling really sad because you're going to spend the holidays away from Mom. So identify those emotions and those feelings and really accept that that's how you're feeling and that's how sad and what it makes you feel like. And then sharing with others how you're feeling. I'm a little sad right now. I'm really missing that person, so that they know and maybe can offer you some comfort. Also, engaging some sort of positive memory recall would be important. You know, mom's favorite dishes, I'm going to bring them out and they're going to be part of the celebration. They're going to be part of the dinner. These are her favorite dishes, and it's like she would always bring them out, and we're going to use them this year. Something like that. Invite others to preserve their memory as well, especially when it comes to like very close-knit families or families that are coming together in maybe parents' homes, and placing a picture or an object nearby, whether it's at the dinner table or when they're coming in. Maybe retelling stories. Remember when mom used to do the mashed potato like this, and we used to make fun because mom, you're supposed to peel the potato first, or whatever it is. And so it kind of adds to, it lends itself to start telling stories and really kind of bring people together and maybe in a happy memory. And then of course, you know, if you have certain traditions and you're keeping those traditions alive by remembering that person and involving others to participate in those traditions can be important too. So I want to just overall, because I want to make sure that I think you know that we are here for the family caregiver and to help you during your journey. But these are a lot of the services and then some that we offer, right? We can connect you to a family consultant who can walk you through the caregiving journey, helping you along the way. You might be interested in getting more specialized information on what is dementia, what is Alzheimer's, what is Parkinson's. Maybe you're interested in the short-term counseling program, which we offer 6 sessions of free therapy, which, you know, this is great. All of our services are free. If I haven't mentioned that already, they're free. We have some respite care for our clients, and that's also really important, especially during the holidays, right? I can't leave mom at home, but I really, really want to go to this get-together. Okay, well, talk to your care manager, and maybe we can make that happen. And we can do that because we have a grant from the County of San Diego that allows us to do that. It's very limited, of course. Everybody always wants respite, but it's definitely available to our clients to help you during this time. Support groups, a list of support groups throughout San Diego County, English and Spanish, and they are led by our master's level clinicians. And education and training is what I do in terms of providing classes, workshops, conferences, and I have here some, if you haven't already gotten the flyers, because we want to make sure that you know about these that are coming up. The next one is December 6th here at the office. The topic is spirituality and caregiving. So that should be really a neat topic to talk about. And then we have this event, November 17th is a workshop for family caregivers. And it's really, I encourage you to assist if you can. It's talking about when you go to the doctor and how to prepare for the doctor, how to maximize the time with the doctor, because they give you like, what, 3 seconds, right? And you have like 10 hours of questions. So then we talk about some of the strategies and how to maximize that limited time that you have with the doctor. And then we're going to have someone from the county talking about Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So if you know someone whose care receiver has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia, this would be important for them to attend, because they'll get a little bit more specific information on that. And again, these are free. If you want to give us a call to get more information or to sign up, we encourage people to sign up, because then we'll know how many people to expect. But if you want to bring others, maybe that can be your goal.
Oh, okay. You can bring
Yes, absolutely. Bring 3, 5, 10 friends. The more the merrier, right? We'll actually have food and coffee. So,
Oh, what kind of food?
yeah, exactly. We'll have turkey leftovers.
And that was November 17th?
November 17th, yeah. The other one is our Reach to Caregivers or Calma program, and I have here a colleague that works very closely with that program, and Tsitsi can give you more information if you like, but it's really specifically tailored for care receivers who are caring for someone with Alzheimer's, dementia, or memory loss. And it's a great program because it's an evidence-based program, and there is a commitment of a certain number of classes, and each class has a different topic, but there's a lot of self-help, self-care, really understanding what is happening with your loved one. And they happen throughout San Diego County. So make sure you see Tsitsi, and she can, right here, if you can raise your hand, see, right here. Yeah, so you can sign up, that would be great. Then we have Operation Family Caregiver, which is a program for military and veteran families. And we also have someone on our staff that's going to be heading up that program to really recruit family caregivers for that program. It's another evidence-based program that is led by our clinical staff. And the idea, again, is for coping skills, self-help, especially for people, military and veteran families who are caring for someone with either a TBI or PTSD or another physical disability. So as you can see, everything that we do is for the family caregiver. We understand what you're going through, that you don't have to do it alone. We are here to help you. And any other resources that you might like, we can connect you to those so that you can figure out how to help yourselves. So if there are...
I was going to back to
Oh.
I have number 4.
Yes. Oh, legal and financial. Did I skip that one?
Oh,
Short-term
short-term
counseling. Okay.
That one is excellent.
Oh,
The
good.
last one is tomorrow. I wish I could continue on that.
You really found it
gosh,
helpful.
I don't know. Without that, I don't know if I would be sitting here today.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. The counseling is really important.
It's the best. It was the best thing.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's always helpful.
I could get a continuation, at least one more session on it.
Talk to your care manager. And also, if you haven't signed up for, I don't know if you qualify or not, but if you haven't signed up for this program, that's also very similar. The Reach to Caregiver. Oh, okay, good. Good.
She said one in January.
Yes.
Oh, it's coming up.
There was so much going on
Yes.
with this one that I just.
Okay.
Yeah,
And if you know people that could also are in your similar situation, because we sometimes tend to be surrounded by people who are in our same situation, then have them come to us, and we can connect them to the services, and then you can kind of be each other's support group. That could also be helpful. And so again, these are all of our resources. You have our brochures. Obviously, you're here, so you know where to find us. But yeah, feel free to take.
Can we get this in the mail?
Yes, make sure you sign up. You give us your email. We're going green, so but that's okay. If you need it, if you need the hard copy, we can give you a hard copy. But we are trying to go green with our newsletter. But the newsletter is wonderful, if I may, because I
had a question on how I could get that.
Oh yeah, sure, we can get you.
Is it quarterly or 4 times a year?
We started quarterly, but it's really expensive. And so we kind of tapered how many we did a year. But there's a lot of great information. We do some nice articles. I do some brain exercises. There's great pictures. It is. And then here in the center is if you want to go green, which means you would give us your email and we will email it to you. But before you leave, make sure you talk to the front desk and they can sign you up so you can get it. Not a problem. And then it also gives you an opportunity to see what's coming up. But there are a lot of great articles by our clinical staff or some of our partners that can be very helpful. And also a list, I think, of all of our education classes that are coming up. So any other questions?
You answered it.
Good.
I do have one that's coming up this weekend, and I kind of set my boundary, but then it makes me feel really guilty about it. Like, she's losing her eyesight.
Okay.
And then, like, today when I leave here, I go get her, and we're going to go to a senior stuff or play games, and they're having turkey.
Oh, nice.
I don't have time to bring a dish, so I'm donating,
Okay.
money. But anyway, so there's a fundraiser this Saturday that I want to go to, and it's bingo, and I love to go bingo. And like when I played bingo with her, like this event, I helped her with her bingo card because she can't see, so I'm doing two both.
Okay.
It's not to get her up here where I'm like,
It's too
I
much.
can do two now because of the stress.
Uh-huh.
I only could focus on one. And so I wanted to go to this bingo, and she wants to go. But Mom, I want to go to this. I love bingo. She doesn't love bingo that much, but she wants to go because of the group of
Yes.
people going to be there. And I said to her, but Mom, I will take you, but I'm not playing your bingo card. And it makes me
And you feel
bad
guilty.
to tell her, no, I'm not going to play her bingo
So
card.
what I would suggest
Yeah.
is that when talking to your care manager, identify some other adult day healthcare centers, because they also specialize in seniors and some in caring for those individuals, but they might have bingo-like activities.
Well, they
So
do.
then, but I'm saying in a different, maybe a different location or maybe a different time. So then, what she's there, you're here. So I would suggest exploring that with your care manager.
I have that going
Okay,
on.
good.
But it's just this event on Saturday.
Mm.
I want to go to it, and I want to enjoy the
Is there
bingo.
somebody that could help you?
And no, everybody is just want to do their own thing. It's an event. I don't mind bringing her, but I don't want to do her bingo card and my bingo card.
So I would suggest that maybe you talk to people there. Maybe there's a volunteer that can help you and can sit with your mom, and then you can play bingo.
Good idea. I like that. Yeah, because I want to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want
And that way you don't feel guilty, and she enjoys herself too, and you enjoy
I
the
want
time.
when I bingo, I don't miss a number, and I want to jump on the table when I win.
So when you win, you got to let us know, okay? And if you become like a billionaire, don't forget about us, okay? All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really enjoy your time, and thanks for your support and your questions.
I like that
Yeah.
because I could tell the person who's running